How do you call a company that invests money in funny things? A fund. Hi there, my name is Matt Sierra and this is Business 2.0, the show where we're talking about how to earn more, how to spend money in a smarter way, and simply how to have a better life. So today we're gonna think about spending money in a smarter way. Let's assume, but first I wanna tell you that below this video you're gonna find the link to download the free episode of this program where I discuss Elon Musk's success strategies. So I deeply advise you to do it right now, because with that you're gonna have more possibility or more skills. So let's get to the topic. Okay, so right now let's imagine that I give you $1 million. It's only imagination. Yeah, it's not a deal. So don't call me later. Where's my million? It's only an exercise. So you've got $1 million. What are your thoughts? I'm not talking about those thoughts like, yeah, finally, my million. No, I'm talking about those thoughts related to further reality. I mean, what you're gonna do with this money? Probably, if you're normal, which means if you're like 90%, at least 90% of the society, your first thoughts would be what to buy myself. I mean, what car to buy, what house to buy, if it's possible, with this kind of money. But for most parts of the world, it is possible to buy a car, to buy a house, maybe to buy a phone, to travel. Yeah, so this is kind of natural that our first thoughts are related to buying stuff to ourselves or to buying experiences. I mean, to have fun, to just have fun. This is kind of natural, and it's probably related to the sad fact that during our formal education at schools and universities, we didn't have any financial classes. Or even if you had some, probably they weren't chaired by a person who was really good in finances. Because, for example, at my secondary school, I had some entrepreneurial classes, but they were chaired by the lady who never had a company. So it was like talking about theoretical stuff. Right now, we're not having fun with theory, we're having fun with life. So it's kind of natural that you would like to buy yourself stuff, but unfortunately, it's not the solution for living a happy life long term. Because we know from experience, not from internet, from YouTube guy talking about money, but you know from your very experience that sooner or later something bad happens. Yeah, like pandemics, wars maybe, cancers. Sooner or later something happens. And of course we can't be prepared, unfortunately, for all the problems that can appear. But we can be prepared for all money problems. It is possible, but only if you take right decisions right now. Which means that your first thoughts should be after you receive money, because we're not talking really about $1 million. We're talking about each and every money that you can gain, that you can gather, that you can earn. Anytime you've got money, new money, then your first thought could be, and even should be, what can I invest in? This is not normal. Most people don't think like this, but that should be your first thought. If you're brave enough, if you're adult enough and mature enough to think about your future. Because if you're gonna only think about your current moment, then let's have fun, let's spend all this money to buy something for me. Yeah, of course, it's gonna be fun. Of course, it would be fun. But the question is, if it's gonna be fun in 1 year, in 6 months, also. Because if you don't have this money, then right now, because you spend it, then in 3 weeks, you won't have this money either. Which means that there is no this money. It's gone. And if you have this money, or at least part of this money, because you've invested it in something, then you're gonna have it maybe 100%, maybe 200%, maybe only 50%, but you still will have something. The only way to do it is not to buy stuff and experiences in the first place, but to invest. Of course, I don't want to convince you that you should avoid fun, that you should avoid buying nice things for yourself, because yeah, that's life, that's part of life. But everything should have its sequence. Everything should first things first, yeah. And investments are first. Fun is later. It wasn't as normal for me. I was taught by life, I could say it this way, because I was deep in credits, using credit cards, having a lot of troubles with debt and so on. So after years of fighting against this reality which I had created to myself, but after that I finally understood that first, you never take credits. Second, you invest. First, and only then, if there's still money left, you can buy you something. You can buy yourself a candy, an ice cream, yeah? It's not a problem then. So how? Because that's, right now we've got theory covered, yeah? We can more or less agree that it is a pretty important thing to invest money, although most people don't do it. But how to start thinking this way in real life? Because we don't want to close our eyes and use the law of attraction, thinking that I attract investments, bitcoins, gold, and so on, because probably it's not going to be enough. You have to act, you have to do things. That's the only thing, especially that maybe life will give you something, but probably it won't. Okay? I would rather think that you have to bring stuff or investments or successes to your life. You're the only one who can do it. So it means that we've got the key word here, do. Do it. Yeah? So if you don't do it, then it's not gonna be done. That's why it's a pretty important thing. That's why I've got a pretty easy exercise for you to change this habit of thinking in the wrong way. Because if we think about how to spend this money, to use it all, and to get rid of it as fast as possible, then we're using our thoughts to our disadvantage. So right now I'm gonna show you how to start exercising, using them in our advantage, to our advantage. It's not gonna be, well, it's gonna be easy, but it's not gonna be quick. So it's not gonna create a success overnight. You're not gonna be a millionaire tomorrow, but maybe in years, why not? And even if no, then you're gonna have a lot more calmness, a lot more equanimity, because your finances are not gonna destroy your life and your happiness. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna take a piece of paper, a sheet of paper, and a pen, and you pose a question. The question is, what can I invest in? And right now, your answers don't have to be super smart. Yeah, like, because if you're a person who never invested in her whole life, then probably your knowledge is zero. But it's not a problem. Right now, we're creating the habit of asking. We're gonna think about answers, right answers, later. You can invest even in some books, reading about investments, watching videos about investments. Even here, On this channel, I will share with you a lot of knowledge related to this topic, but right now it's not as important. What is important is to just create the habit of asking ourselves what I can invest in, to create a new normal. Yeah, because right now, for most of the people in the world, it is pretty normal to spend their money. It's not as normal to invest their money. So right now we're gonna create the new normal for ourselves. And it is possible. It is feasible. I've done it with myself. Like in the past, I was absolutely sure that I could spend every portion of money, every quantity. Yeah, whatever money I had, I could spend it. Right now, always when I have some money, when I have additional money, for example, new clients came in or some marketing campaign worked perfectly well, better than I had thought before, then my first and usually my only thought is, how can I invest it? What can I invest it in? So I created my new normal, which is a proof that it is possible. Because some of you could say that, yeah, but that's my nature. I always spend my money, I get rid of my money, I buy myself stuff, and there's nothing we can do. Well, there is much we can do about it. We can change it all completely, once and for all, forever. It's gonna be changed if you decided to change it. So, and if you not only decide, but then if you take steps to do it. So the first step is to take this particular sheet of paper and put there a question: what can I invest in? Then with time, you're gonna create a new normal. Maybe some of you have experiences like I have, that you've already created a new normal with some topic. For example, in the past, in my childhood, I always had a tea with sugar. It was normal. 2 teaspoons of sugar always were there. It was normal for me. Like everyone in my family did it this way. After some time, I've decided to decrease the amount of sugar that my sugar intake. So I used only 1 spoon of sugar, and then after a couple of weeks, I've decided to avoid sugar at all. And after that, I changed black tea into green tea. And after that, after a couple of weeks, finally I found out that I'm pretty fond of green tea without sugar. And right now, for me, it's not only I love tea without sugar, but it's even impossible to me to have a tea with sugar. If it happens, like I go somewhere and they serve me a tea with sugar, then I can't drink it. I wanna vomit. I wanna chunder. It's impossible to put it into my mouth. So that means that I've created new normal, and I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying it because you also have such experiences in your life, don't you? Of course you do. Which means that you already have proofs that it works. So we're gonna create new normal here using only a sheet of paper and thinking day by day, because it's a thinking habit. It's a habit related to your thoughts, which means that you've got to exercise your thoughts day by day to exchange the old habit with a new one. And one day, I'm not gonna give you any promises, but it's gonna take some time. One day, you're gonna find out that every time when you get additional money, when you get some money, when you get more money, then your first thought is, should I buy Bitcoin or gold? Or maybe I've got enough to buy even a piece of real estate. It's not gonna be, should I buy a new iPhone? Of course, if you're gonna have more and more money, because investing means multiplying the money. So with time, you're gonna have more and more. Then one day, you're gonna think, right now, I can buy 7 new iPhones and my bank account will not notice. I wish you this moment. But in order to get there, you're gonna have to change a lot. Yeah, because I know there are a lot of money coaches that tell us that getting rich is so easy and fun and so on. Well, it's not easy, and from time to time it's not fun at all, but it is possible. But it's like going to the top of the mountain. Yeah, like, well, if it's fun, maybe sometimes yes, definitely at the top, when you have this feeling that you've reached it, then it gives you a lot of fun, a lot of pride. But first, you've got to spend a lot of hours fighting with reality. So that's it. That's why so few people reach the tops of the mountains, because it's so hard that most of the people don't want to go there. The same with richness. So, but right now, the very first step is pretty easy: to change your thoughts, to start thinking about investments using a sheet of paper. But please, two things. The first one, don't do it only in your mind. I'm gonna close my mind and think about investment. No, just take a sheet of paper and write it down. To have it physically, to put it on your fridge and to watch it every single day. Investments. Yeah, that's my new normal. Investments. Maybe Bitcoin, maybe gold, maybe real estate, maybe shares, whatever, but investments. You should watch it every day as you watch the ads of a new iPhone. Yeah, so right now you're gonna watch the ads of gold, Bitcoin, and real estate. Crazy? For the world? Maybe. But for your new normal, for your future self of a person with money, with investments, with calmness, that's gonna be normal. And my second thing is, do it right now. Not like, okay, pretty nice, I watched the video, I had some fun, so maybe tomorrow I'm gonna find some moment to do the exercise. No, it's not the way we change things in life. We've got to change them right away. So take a sheet of paper right now after this video and do it. Just answer the question, what can I invest in? And no matter that you don't have your wise answers because you know nothing about investments, take it easy. You're gonna know more and more, and this is not kind of contract that you have to fulfill it. If you put Bitcoin today there, then you're gonna have to buy a Bitcoin because you signed a contract. No, it's only the exercise, more related not to the answers, but to the question. Yeah, to learn posing a question, how can I invest my money? To make it pretty natural. And some people will tell me, okay, Matt, but I'm afraid that I can lose my money, which is true. Matt, you mentioned Bitcoin so many times. Have you seen what happens with Bitcoin? The price decreases. Maybe it's the end. Maybe you're gonna buy your Bitcoins today and sell them for only 20% of the value in 1 year. And my answer is yes, it is possible. That's true. I agree completely. But that's also the truth that if you buy stuff for yourself or travels and so on, then you're gonna lose 100%. So even if I lose with Bitcoin, losing 80%, then I will still have 20. You won't have this 20. That's why it's pretty creepy even that people are afraid of losing 10%, 50%, 5%. They are even unhappy if their shares didn't give them the income, the return. Like they didn't decrease on their value, but I didn't earn yet. And they are unhappy. They say that those shares are kind of shitty stuff. Why should I invest in shares if I can earn so less? Well, that's a good question, but a better question would be, why should you buy any phone if you're gonna lose at least 80-90%? Because yeah, maybe you're gonna sell it in 3 years, for some kind of money, but frequently it's not gonna be even usable after those 30 years, because this stuff is prepared in a way that should make it destroy itself. Yeah, like it should be unusable after a couple of years. So I don't know. So we're not afraid of losing all our money, spending it to have fun, and we are afraid of losing part of this money while investing to have the possibility, not certainty, but possibility to have a better, calmer, happier future. Isn't it crazy? So you should be afraid of buying a new car. You should be afraid of using a credit card, definitely. You should be afraid of having a trip, not of having a trip, but spending money to have a trip if you don't have your own money, which means if you spend bank's money, for example, or if you don't have any money left after this trip. So you're not prepared for the problems which will occur, definitely. So we shouldn't be afraid of investments, although this is true that from time to time we're gonna lose some money with them. But still, investing money is the best, probably the only way to have a calm financial future. So please check it out right now. Take a sheet of paper, put there the question, what can I invest in? And search for the answers. Your answers will change with time, like I invest in different things every single year, but it's not a problem. The problem would be not investing at all and spending all the money. Thanks for watching. Remember that below this video, you're gonna find the link to download the free episode about Elon Musk's strategies that I had prepared to you. And we're gonna see each other every Thursday. So see you next time. Have a lot of fun and a lot of investments.